So I'm just gonna go over a few things here with vegetable oils and grains. So hopefully everybody can hear me. Let's just go over that really quick before I freeze here. So let's talk about the 5 reasons that grains are bad. Number 1 is phytates. Grain contains phytate, and this is the question from Evelyn. So thank you for the question. So hopefully you went through the Gut Reset Manual and learn a bit about the paleo nutrition, or the how we're supposed to eat like our ancestors. Phytate. So I'm gonna try to see if I can stand up here, if this gives us a better angle or not. Okay. So it's a little cold just sitting down here. I think we can do this. Yeah. Okay. So phytates. What are phytates? Phytates are essentially molecules found in grains and certain nuts and seeds. What they are is they're blocking your nutrients absorption. They're not as harmful as gluten, but what happens is you have like the minerals and the vitamins. Phytates comes in and block it. So it blocks your ability to absorb certain nutrients. So that's why grains are not good for you, right? So one of the reasons is because phytate is in there. Secondary reason is gluten. Gluten is that molecule that stretches out your gut lining and inflames the gut lining. So it creates leaky gut, and it leads to inflammation, which can propagate into other chronic diseases. Number 3 is lectins. Lectins is another small molecule in the human body that creates or promotes gut inflammation. So lectin is also found in legumes, and what it does is it stretches out your gut lining. So if you remember the lecture on leaky gut, your gut lining is like cheesecloth, right? So no big molecules should be able to go through the cheesecloth. That cheesecloth filters it out. What happens when you eat grain that contains lectins, it stretches out that cheesecloth, so it becomes bigger holes, therefore create leaky gut, a condition where bigger molecules that are not supposed to be in the blood gets into the blood, creates inflammation, creates overactivity of your immune system. Also, another one is gliadin. What is gliadin? Gliadin is a protein that's found in wheat that binds to the opiate receptors in your brain. What does that mean? Well, it means that it has an addictive property. So that's why it's so hard to get off the sourdough or the wheat thins or even bagels, because it's addictive. So yeah, kind of strange, right? But that's how the body works. You actually have these molecules that binds to the same place that cocaine binds to. That's why quitting bread is so hard, is because it is addictive. And the first few days, you probably notice, if you're going completely clean, that you have cravings, like serious cravings. It's like, oh man, I really need to eat some bagel or something today. So number 5, grains creates leaky gut. It just damages the gut lining and stretches it out, and it creates inflammation, which inflammation in the guts leads to dysbiosis, which is the imbalance of the gut microbe or the microbiome. So that's the 5 reasons why grains are bad, not good for you. So what to do? So you can replace the grain flours, with coconut flour or almond flour. Those are great. They're full of proteins. They're not high in carbohydrates. So they actually save your pancreas from producing a lot of insulin, which leads to insulin resistance. Therefore, leads to chronic diseases like diabetes or even cancer in many cases. Insulin resistant, or the high insulin levels in your blood for a long period of time, leads to problem like cancer, because insulin is it promotes cell growth. So what you can also do is you can soak it. You can soak the the grains and the seeds. If you decide that you're going to eat the grains and the seeds, soak it overnight to help kind of break down those hard molecules that's hard to digest for the body. So you help the body out in a sense. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next part, which is vegetable oil. Sun's coming out. It's a little bit nicer. It's about 32 degrees, actually 30 degrees right now, and it feels like about 12. So it's really cold right now. And I just decided to do it to show off the snow in the backyard here. So I think it's pretty cool. Vegetable oil, the reason it's so bad is because it does not exist in nature, period. Most of these vegetable oil, canola, grape seeds oil, rapeseed oil, cotton seeds oil, peanut oil, soybean oil, these are all oil that has been processed, right, from certain plants or grains. They're not supposed to be there in nature. And what that does, it changes the fat composition. If you don't know, you go back and read the history of how vegetable oil comes about is because it lasts for years and doesn't go expire on the shelves. So it doesn't go rancid. That's a problem, right? Because fresh food should go bad at some point. So this type of oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, all this heart healthy oil that you have, it's all scam. It's bad for you. Why? Well, because first of all, they're full of omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 are essential, right? It promotes inflammation. Without omega-6 at all, your body immune system won't be able to function. But what happened is the ratio of omega-6 and 3 is out of control. Gets it's out of control. We are too high on omega-6. Omega-3 helps promotes anti-inflammatory effect. Things like fish oil that I recommend. It lowers your inflammation. Omega-6 shoots it up. Average American consumes about 20 to 30 times more omega-6 than omega-3. So that's a problem, right? Because it makes you so inflamed. And when you're inflamed, you're more likely to have cancer, heart disease, diabetes. All these chronic diseases have some inflammatory causes. It causes cellulite, right? It's a fat that doesn't break down easily. And what happened is when you consume these vegetable oil, it also breaks down collagen. Collagen is the part of your skin that keeps it kind of nice and springy, like baby's butt. That's full of collagen, so you can just kind of flick it, and it's kind of bouncy. That springiness, that's collagen. Vegetable oil destroys your collagen and becomes cellulite. So it's not good, aesthetically nor healthily. It breaks down the collagen, and what happens is collagen is great for your skin. It makes it bouncy. It's also great for your gut. That's why bone broth is amazing for your gut, is because it's full of collagen. What else does it do? It eats up your antioxidant. So what happened is in the body, when our cells work every single day, it produces the waste. Is called oxidative process. Just like when you turn your car on, what comes out of the smoke or the fume is waste, right? It's the byproduct of running an engine. The byproduct of running your cellular engine is oxidation, right? Oxygen. What happened is we have the ability to break down the waste called antioxidation. Anti meaning against oxidation. And what have an abundance of antioxidant is the fruits and the vegetables, right? All the berries are awesome with antioxidant. Glutathione is amazing antioxidant. So it's better to have high oxidation, high antioxidant diet, like all those different colors of fruits and vegetables. That's why I say eat the rainbow. So what's vegetable oil do to you? It eats up all this antioxidant. It eats up the antioxidant because it's so stressful and so toxic to the cells. that it produces lots of oxidation. Too much oxidation, it kills your genes, kills your DNA, promotes cancer. Okay, so the vegetable oil eats up all the good things that neutralize the waste. So it's basically a heavy load of toxin, essentially. So your body needs a lot more antioxidant to clear all this shit out. So there's studies that vegetable oil kills your arteries. Okay, well, how bad is it? How bad is it, Dr. John? So there's a study in 20 years old, 20 to 30 years old male smoking a cigarette. What that does is it basically, your arteries should be able to contract and relax, right? Contract and relax. It should have flexibility. That's your vascular system. And when you smoke a cigarette, it makes your arteries stiff, so it contracts it. It doesn't relax it. It shows that the physiology effect of smoking a cigarette, basically it makes your arteries about 80 years old, so it's very stiff, for 4 hours. So that's what they found with smoking cigarette. With vegetable oil, it contracts your artery and make it 80 years old for 24 hours, for an entire day. So if you want to go radical here, eating vegetable oils is worse than smoking cigarette, because bad oil is that bad. It's that bad. So again, anything that's fried, you go to a restaurant, order some fried food, and guess what? They don't change their oil. Not very much. They fry it over and over and over again. And every time you fry it over and over again, it creates an evolution. Basically, the oil, the fat, changes shape. It becomes rancid. It becomes toxic. So if you get there on the Saturday night, when the restaurant changes their oil on Sunday when it closes, for 6 days, it fries the shit over and over again. You're eating the best crab rangoons that has been fried 130 times. So the study shows that when you're eating one serving of fries at restaurant, it constricts your arteries and make it 80 years old for 24 hours. That's how bad it is. So don't eat vegetable oil. What else does it do? It creates genotoxin. Genotoxin means gene and toxic. It's toxic to your genes. So it actually changes the gene expression in a sense that it alters your DNA. That's not very good. That's like radiation. It changes your DNA. So when your DNA is imperfect or is mutated, what was that? It's cancer. Cancer is mutated genes that allow to proliferate. Okay. What else does it do? It reduces executive function. So look at the brain here. There's the front part, which is your executive function. That's basically the logic part, the one that makes sense of everything. What else does it do? It dictates your willpower, ability to plan and execute. And there's a hindbrain, or the midbrain, which is the reptilian brain. That's basically emotional. All the emotions, anger, rage, jealousy, fear, lust is in your midbrain, your reptilian brain, or the animal brain. This right here in the frontal cortex, is the human brain. What does it do? It reduces the function of the human brain. It lowers your logical executive function, and also it lowers your willpower. So imagine that for a second. It lowers your willpower. Your willpower to say, you know what? I'm not going to eat that shit. I'm actually going to go for a jog. It lowers that. So don't be surprised if you give in to the bad oil or the vegetable oil, and then you feel like you're just lazy, you don't want to do anything. It's because it lowers your brain function, right? So that's what it does to you. I'm going about 15 minutes here, so I'm going to wrap this up. Mitochondrial dysfunction is the last thing that I want to share. What does that mean? So in your cells, your body is made of a bunch of cells, right? A bunch of cells make up organs, bunch of organs make up you. You are only as healthy as your cells are. And in your cells, there's this factory, this powerhouse called mitochondria. Mitochondria is like the battery packs in your cells. Without the battery packs, you don't have any power, you don't have cellular power, you're just low energy totally. Vegetable oil destroys that energy pack. It makes it less efficient, right? So let's say your cells produces this much energy, right? Let's just use the image here. And when you eat vegetable oil, instead of this much energy, so that you can spend to make your thyroid gland, thyroid hormones, to be able to walk, to be able to think, all the energy that you need for your body, instead of this much energy that it produces, when you eat vegetable oils, it produces this much. So what happened? You don't have enough energy for your body to function. So what's the consequence of that? You're tired all the time. You can't think straight. And what happened when your cells don't function right? Your organs don't function right. And guess what happened to your health? It becomes unhealthy. You become sick. So just to summarize what we just said, the reason gluten is bad is because it has phytate, or not gluten, grains. The reason grains are bad is because it contains phytate. Phytate basically blocks your nutrients and vitamin and mineral absorption. It also has this, what is it, the second part, gluten. Gluten's found in most grain. That creates leaky gut. What it does, it has lectins, which causes leaky guts and gut inflammation. It basically, some gluten, there is a protein called gliadin that's addictive, that binds to your opiate receptors found in wheat. And the fifth one is it creates leaky gut. So it's kind of redundant there. Why is vegetable oil bad? Because it creates major inflammation in your body. It's shoot your omega-6 way up. It drops your omega-3. It creates cellulites, right? And it basically destroys your skin, make your age faster. It eats up your antioxidant, your ability to clear out garbage and toxic waste. It creates genotoxin. It is genotoxin, meaning that it messes with your genes. It creates cancer. It creates mutation. It's reduced your brain power, your executive function, your ability to think straight, your intellect. It basically shuts that part off. And also it destroys your mitochondria, which is your energy packs in your cells.